What's up, guys? It's your boy here, and today we'll be reacting to middle school dropout to a Fortnite millionaire, which is the story of Clix. So, let's get into it. It will be credit to TBNR, Timmy TBNR. Yeah. Let's just hop right into it.
And a young Cody Conrad sat his dad down at the kitchen table and told him that he was ready to drop out of middle school. For almost any other parent in the world, this would have been a very easy no. However, just a few days before they had this talk, the 14-year-old Cody had won $162,000 from playing.
Okay, hold on. What would you, guys, comment down below, what would you do with $162,000? Like, at that age, in middle school, what would you do with that money? You can't buy a Lamborghini, you can't buy a house or anything, so...
Fortnite. The kid that would go on to be one of the world's richest teenagers, most successful gamers in the world, and a massive content creator, started right here. Cody Conrad, also known as Clix, was born January 7th of 2005 in Connecticut, where he got into gaming at a very early age.
When I was around 5 years old, I got into video games. I didn't have a PC, but my brother, which was at the age of like, I think 13 or something, he had a PC. That I would always sneak into his room and just play Call of Duty Zombies. The first game I ever played was Minecraft, and then I realized that my dream was to like become a professional gamer.
But there was only one problem. You couldn't really make money off of professional Minecraft, whatever that really means. But luckily, just a few years later, a brand new game was about to come out that would capture the hearts of kids and adults alike. And it was called Fortnite.
Fortnite is drawing millions of players.
Fortnite Battle Royale dropped in September of 2017, and it was a smash hit. And a young Clix saw this as an opportunity.
I was playing Minecraft and I knew there was no way to necessarily make money off of. And I saw Fortnite and I had confidence that Fortnite will blow up and I could possibly make a living or like a career out of Fortnite.
The issue is, Clix didn't have a PC yet. Keep in mind, he is barely 13 years old. But he knew that he wanted to be a pro gamer, and so he needed a PC in his mind. So what Clix did next would change his life forever. He approached his dad with an offer that he couldn't refuse.
He goes, Dad, he goes, you know, if you buy me a really neat computer, I can do so well, I can be a pro gamer, I can make so much money out of it.
So I promised him that I'll be able to make money back within like the end of the summer, which was 3 months. And he made a contract, he made me work with him for a little bit, and also try to make money from what I told him I could do.
They even signed the contract, and Clix got the computer that he always dreamed of. And he got right to grinding. Within only a few weeks, he was already making money.
And 2.5 weeks later, he says, Dad, you know, guess how much money I made, guess how much money I made. I says, I don't know, $200? He goes, no, check this out. So I looked at a PayPal account, and we made $1,035 in 2.5 weeks.
And although $1,000 isn't enough to live off of, this was a very big amount of money for a kid who was barely 13. And this was all through wagers. He hadn't even begun to play in professional tournaments yet. At the same time that he got his new computer, Clix also started his YouTube account, and his first ever video was uploaded on April 21st of 2018, and it's titled Amazing Build Battle in Fortnite. And it shows off just that. A build battle in Fortnite, no talking, no music, or anything at all. Just you, your thoughts, and some pretty sick builds. But hey, every creator has to start somewhere, right? And not to worry, because the next video that Clix would upload, Fortnite, so...
That is true. Every creator started somewhere, like me. You guys start somewhere. I've started somewhere. You guys start somewhere. It's really all a matter... It's genuinely the matter of time, dedication, and all that type of stuff. Like, I have only had my channel for 2 months. I'm already at 1,135 subscribers, and it's only been 2 months. You guys are amazing for that. I really appreciate it. We are starting somewhere, and I am going to hopefully make a career out of this. Hopefully, you know, start young, do that, do all that type of stuff. Get good. Just lock in, do whatever you can, really. Just do, like, get everything. Try your best. If you want to become a YouTuber, make a career out of it, try your best. Do what you can, and try your best. So yeah, that's really all I gotta say. So let's just
Flow in montage smiley face, 15 kills, has some smooth lo-fi beats on top of it, so clearly he's a fast learner.
Okay, I know this isn't really a montage, like my montages, they're a little different, but it's different when back in chapter 1, so yeah.
And just by watching these videos, it's clear that Clix is way more talented than your average 13-year-old Fortnite player. And when I say a lot...
Okay, that's true because I ain't that good and I just switched to keyboard and mouse, but that is pretty true.
Or, I mean, a lot more. And Clix wanted to show off these skills to more people than just all the wager kids that would pop into his streams. But luckily for Clix, there was a huge Fortnite tournament coming around the corner where he could do just that. The Fortnite World Cup was announced on March 25th of 2019. This event was one of the biggest tournaments in esports history. 10 weeks of qualifying rounds with a $10 million prize pool, and then on top of that, a giant LAN tournament in New York City with an additional $30 million prize pool. That's $40 million in total, which of course is a massive opportunity for anybody, let alone a 13-year-old kid. Of course, an opportunity like this would make anybody excited to have some fun, but it was bigger for the young Cody. He knew that this was his chance to prove all of his haters wrong, and also prove to his dad that he meant what he said when he said he was going to be a pro gamer. In February of 2019, Clix was still very unknown. His channel had only just hit 1,000 subscribers. And here's his montage to celebrate that. Luckily enough for Clix, however, he ended up connecting with a duo named Skeptic. Skeptic was in one of the biggest gaming organizations of this time called Misfits Gaming. And when they were getting ready to try and qualify for the World Cup together, Misfits decided to offer Clix a contract so that they could represent both halves of this dynamic duo. Apparently, the contract seemed too good to be true for Clix.
We'll pay you $2,500 a month just to be on Misfits and play with Skeptic. So, my 13-year-old self is way, I'm in 8th grade. This is sick.
Right.
So, signed that. Didn't even read it, I'm gonna be honest. Like, that was like stupid, but like, they never go.
However, aside from that, he officially joined the org on April 5th, right before the first week of the qualifiers for the World Cup. And these qualifiers were the biggest tournaments that Clix or Skeptic had ever competed in before. Before this, Clix had played a few cash cups like the Share the Love Cup and the Blackheart Cup, but those were tiny compared to the World Cup. And Clix knew this, so he put his heart and soul into the first week of qualifiers, and he placed 83rd on NA East. Although this wasn't probably the placement that he wanted, he still played incredibly well for a young kid who was playing in their first massive tournament. But instead of giving up, he got right back into the game and competed in the Week 2 qualifiers with his duo partner Skeptic. Skeptic was already very well known in the Fortnite community at this time, as he had blown up on Twitch and YouTube after killing Tfue on stream, and this highlight video now has 10 million views on YouTube. Following that video blowing up, Skeptic regularly received millions of views on his videos. He was really an overnight success. Clix and Skeptic duoing together seemed like a perfect match. Two of the youngest pro Fortnite players, both in the same org, it couldn't get any better for the two. And so, they went into the World Cup Week 2 qualifiers and managed to get a second place on NA East. This meant the two of them were going straight to the World Cup in New York City, no matter what else happened in this competition. And on top of that, the young players earned $4,000 each, in addition to the $50,000 guaranteed they would each get from attending the World Cup. But Clix didn't stop there. Qualifying for duos was great, but he wanted to qualify for solos even more. And Clix did just that. In fact, throughout the 10 weeks of qualifiers, Clix would technically qualify for the World Cup 5 times. 3 times in solos and twice in duos. By the time the qualifiers were over, Clix had already won $22,250 before even setting foot in New York City. And because of the success in the qualifiers and duoing with Skeptic, his social media started to get more attention as well. After all the World Cup qualifiers were over, Clix was regularly getting tens of thousands of views on his YouTube channel, as opposed to when he was just getting a couple hundred before. The World Cup finals were set to be held in the Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York City on July 26th, 27th, and 28th of 2019. This was Clix's chance to prove to everyone just how good of a Fortnite player he was. And those 10 weeks of qualifiers all led up to this point.
We want to introduce you guys to the players, so we will have the first group now taking the stage out there. And in that group, we have Crimson Spades, Clix and Skeptics, PS Jin and Nix, Artgram and Falconer, and then Renan and Tyler 15.
A lot of people are keeping their eyes on Clix and Skeptic because Clix's rise throughout the Fortnite World Cup Online Open has been meteoric. A lot of people are wondering, how is he going to perform on the stage?
First up was duos, and Clix and Skeptic were going up against the best of the best, not only in America, but in the entire world of Fortnite. And after a stellar performance in the qualifiers, they were definitely a team that everyone else was looking out for. Unfortunately, however, the team didn't do as well as expected, and after the 6 games were over, they landed in 35th place out of 50 teams. Although this placement was a little bit disappointing, he was still going home with a whopping $50,000 just for participating, which obviously that's a massive amount of money for anybody, let alone a 13 or 14-year-old kid. Luckily enough for Clix, he also qualified for the solo tournament, which would take place the next day. This gave him an opportunity to make up for the low placement from the day before, unlike his duo Skeptic, who had only qualified for duos with Clix.
A lot of new names. Of course, we'll start with Tfue.
Have the 2 young warriors out of Clix and Epic Whale, known for taking walls, taking names, and pressing forward, doing everything they can to stop their opponents.
Absolutely. Clix, one of the players who
It's pause.
has fully qualified for both solos and duos.
Clix managed to place an amazing 18th in the solo finals, which earned him $112,000. To almost anybody in the world, they would have been ecstatic overcoming 18th in the Fortnite World Cup, but Clix just knew he could have done better.
This is so sad, bro. I really just threw this. I'm so mad, bro. I should have got top 10 easy, bro.
However, when all was said and done, Clix went home with a whopping $162,000, which, like I said,
Okay. If you're 13 years old, what are you doing with $162,000?
before, is a massive amount of money, especially for Cody, who was just 14 now. However, not everything at the World Cup had gone exactly to plan. And because of this, just a few hours after the solo World Cup games ended, Clix tweeted out that he would be looking for a new duo partner, shocking many of his fellow players. Mega, another really popular Fortnite player at this time, replied to his tweet saying, "Why'd you leave Skeptic?" And Clix simply responded, "I don't think we fit as a duo, Mr. Mega." And it didn't seem like Skeptic took the breakup well, as his tweet felt a little passive-aggressive. He tweeted out, "I split with Clix, looking for a new duo that believes in teamwork and chemistry." Someone in the replies to Skeptic's tweet said that Clix was clearly someone with a big ego. They said, "This was obvious, guys. The day they qualified, Clix started egoing Skeptic, and everyone claimed Clix carried. No one wants to be in a duo with that toxicity. Skeptic is a well-rounded player that plays well in competitive and will perform at a high level in future events." Skeptic replied with a simple TY and a heart emoji. Whether it was because of this feud or not, the whole situation was messy enough that on July 31st, Skeptic left Misfits entirely, and Clix ended up wishing him well on the replies. However, it's unclear if Skeptic left work because of the split with Clix, or if it was just a coincidence. But one thing is for certain, I don't think these two are going to be duoing anytime soon. Following the World Cup, Clix returned home to Connecticut, but quickly realized that after the World Cup, his life was never going to be the same. There was no way he could go back to public school after becoming one of the biggest Fortnite pro players in the world.
8th grade summer was World Cup. That's when I made 170 grand, and my dad was like super convincing. Like, I had to really convince him that like this is the right decision for me to do online school, not fully drop out.
Thankfully, Clix's parents were very supportive of his gaming career, and to be fair, he had just made hundreds of thousands of dollars, so I'm sure that helped convince them. So now that Clix is entirely freed from going to school, he can get back to doing what's really important, figuring out who he's going to play with in the next Fortnite tournament. And luckily, Fortnite was about to switch from the boring duos to a very new, fun, and exciting trios game mode. So, because of this, everything was shaken up, and everyone was looking for a new team, not just Clix. So, Clix decided to play with some more veteran players, Spades and Crims, during FNCS Season X. The team was very quickly successful, with a first place win in Heat 4 and a 7th place finish in Grand Finals. In addition to the success within the game, Clix was finding a lot of success outside of Fortnite as well on his social media accounts. His streams were averaging 10 to 15,000 viewers, and sometimes during...
That's wild. I don't even get 10 viewers, and he gets 10 to 15,000 viewers back then. But now imagine, and well, now he has 10 times more than that.
Tournaments, they would reach up to 40,000 concurrent viewers. It was clear that Clix was very quickly becoming one of the biggest names in Fortnite.
Exactly,
On
man.
June 27th,
I wish I was that known.
However, Clix mysteriously posted a gift of a contract signing, implying that he would be leaving Misfits to sign with another org. And, of course, this sent people speculating all over the place. And at the time, most people were convinced that this new org would be FaZe. They had a history of hiring Fortnite pros who had large followings online, so it made sense. And with Clix being one of the biggest players in the world, and FaZe being the biggest org in the world at the time, it kind of seemed like a match made in heaven. However, we still didn't know if this gift meant that he would be signing with the new org. For all we know, he bought a new car, or a new house, or something else you had to buy with fancy papers to sign. But then, Stable Ronaldo posted a tweet showing that Clix had removed Misfits from his bio.
As you guys can see by the bio from Clix, it used to say player for Misfits, now it says player for nothing.
This pretty much confirmed that Clix would be leaving Misfits. And sure enough, on July 1st of 2020, it was announced that Clix would be joining NRG. And this announcement video was kind of insane.
You think you could call him that favorite for me?
Yeah, I got you, Bert.
Dope, thank you so much, bro.
We just signed a new player and I need you to announce him.
For real? Alright. Anything you need, Benji. You know I got you. Love you, baby. NRG. Yo, Clix. Welcome to the family.
Yes, your eyes do not deceive you. That was the Shaquille O'Neal, like the basketball guy, that one, making a Fortnite org announcement. I was just as shocked as you guys are. And in August of 2020, things just got even better for Clix, as he hit one of the biggest milestones that you can hit on YouTube.
It's
Clix hit
100,000.
1 million subscribers and dropped this montage. Which reminds me, I'm trying to hit 100,000 subscribers before the end of this year. So if you guys enjoy my videos and wouldn't mind dropping a sub, it would mean the world to me. Anyways, back to the video. So August was a pretty eventful month for Clix, as on August 19th, he would also move into the NRG Fortnite house with Ronaldo, Unknown, and Edgy.
Welcome to the NRG house. I'm NRG Ronaldo. We have Clix, Edgy, Unknown. Let me show you around. Let me show you around the house.
But just because he's joined the content house doesn't mean he's ready to give up the pro gaming side of things. On that same day the house tour was uploaded, Clix got first place in a Trios Cash Cup with Calc and Macro. In addition to the Fortnite content, in this NRG house, Clix and the boys made a ton of IRL content as well, which they uploaded to the NRG channel. Riveting videos like Ronaldo helping Clix and Unknown and their beef. This was the first time that Clix really dabbled in IRL content, because a majority of the videos on Clix's YouTube channel were all highlights and game clips. Other than the occasional live event vlog, this was the first time we really got to see Clix and his personality outside of playing the game. And surprisingly enough, his off-stream personality was almost exactly the same as his on-stream personality.
We got Clix over here. I wanna be honest with you, on my fault. Dude, you're risking your life for the Instagram likes.
And when's going quickly.
And I think this is a big reason why people like Clix so much.
I mean,
because he seems actually
I think
genuine.
Clix is a
When
pretty
you
good
watch his
YouTuber,
videos, it doesn't
low-key.
feel like he's putting on a character. He's just genuinely himself, and the numbers reflected this. He was pulling an average of 50,000 viewers in his time at the NRG house. And in November of that year, the entire NRG team would make a move over to the West Coast. Keep in mind, Clix is just 15 years old doing all of this. I was doing like homework or something at 15, not, playing professional Fortnite and traveling across the world. I mean, it was crazy. Since Clix was so young during all of this, of course, his dad would come along for the ride.
I'm the NRG housemaster. MC's garbage. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm doing some food tasting and making sure these are quality chocolate chip cookies for these gamers.
I'm surprised your son is a superstar because you feel like you were made for the camera.
I don't know about you guys, but Clix's dad seems like a huge W throughout this whole story, so big shout out to Mr. Clix. Anyways, in the new house, the NRG team continues to make IRL content while crushing it at Fortnite as well. Just in the first few months of 2021, Clix got 3 first-place rankings in professional tournaments. This would include 2 Cash Cup wins and the first DreamHack Open of 2021. And he didn't get those wins all alone. He didn't have a set.
I started a little bit before 2021.
Pros, however, during the time, like Day,
because I
Reed,
played
Jacob, Bizzle,
back
and even
with
Fugu at the World
the
Cup
season
win.
before
And
Stark
in addition to winning
Industries.
all these pro
If
Fortnite
you guys have made it
tournaments,
this far,
the content
comment
just
down
kept
below
coming.
what
Clix started his
season
second channel
or what
called
chapter
More
you
Clix
started.
on May 21st of 2021. And guess what this channel uploaded? More of Clix. Honestly, there isn't much of a difference between More Clix and Clix's main channel, but hey, I'm not complaining about getting more Clix content. Throughout 2021, Clix would start to collaborate a lot with fellow streamer Somerset. Playing with a girl streamer seemed to be really good for his numbers and really good for YouTube clickbait. Clix would upload plenty of videos like these.
I was the bully in high school. The thing about me, I was like small. I wanted to be big as.
You were the. Yeah, okay, I know what you mean.
No, that's not what I was putting out.
Yeah, you guys get the picture. But the content did really well, and honestly, I think the two are really entertaining together. Comment down below if you think that Clix should be with Somerset, or if she's better off with Blake. For Clix, things were going absolutely amazing in Fortnite. He was performing well in the game and in content creation. And the next step for Clix was to follow another passion outside of Fortnite, which just happened to be clothing. So on November 12th of 2021, Clix would take another massive step in his career by launching his own clothing brand, Dreamin'. And this wasn't your average YouTuber merch. This was something way more elevated, and it was like a street fashion brand. It was really awesome. And the first collection absolutely popped off. Within just 2 days of the shop opening, they had already had 2,600 orders. To be honest, I even have 4 or 5 Dreamin' shirts myself, so Clix, if you're watching this and want to send me a free shirt or 2, just let me know. Anyways, clearly 2021 was a massive year for Clix, but 2022 was going to be even bigger, I promise. And a big part of this was because Clix was about to make the biggest announcement of his entire career. On February 22nd, 2022, Clix announced that his contract with NRG was officially over. And a lot of people in chat thought that he was joking. So here's the official Twitter post for proof. This announcement was massive for the Fortnite community. Clix had already been with NRG for 2 years, but one of Clix's best friends, Ronaldo, had just left NRG, so people sort of suspected it and thought it made sense. So now, Clix was a free agent. He could join any org that he wanted to. Or maybe he'll make his own org. Maybe he'll even spend a little time as a free agent and find himself as an individual. However, people didn't have to speculate for very long, because 2 days later, Clix would announce his future plans.
We're like a new energy duo.
Wait, hold up. Are you saying today's the day?
Today's the day.
Yep, Clix re-signed with NRG, basically fooling all of us. I mean, honestly, he definitely knew he was going to re-sign with NRG the whole time, but at least he got to have some fun announcing it and get everyone in some suspense. After re-signing, he moved into a brand new content house in New Jersey with Bucky and Day in July of 2022.
Yeah, this is low-key kind of crazy.
Go! Go! Go get it! Get it! Oh my God!
Bro, it's cool.
Yeah, no comment on that intro. Anyway, the team continued to make IRL content for the NRG channel, while Clix was making amazing Fortnite content on his personal socials.
But he's gotten a little bigger since last time I saw him. I'm a little nervous.
I got it.
Clix is a little...
Well, alright, chat. That will be the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you comment what season you guys started. Make sure you comment what season you guys started. So I know how far you made it. So, yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.